Over the years, he's put his heart into being your dad. He was always there to fix things. Now that he needs help, don't lose hope. Covenant Center for the Heart is leading the way in minimally invasive heart options for inoperable or high-risk patients, with the first and most comprehensive structural heart disease program in the Great Lakes Bay region. It's extraordinary heart care, close to home.
Good evening and welcome to our baseball pregame show sponsored by Covenant Healthcare right here on BCTV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala. And Mike, our first venture at high school baseball could not be a better backdrop and setting.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, all the years we've done sports, this is our first baseball game we've ever done together, and we couldn't pick a better spot to do it. Tonight is from the Dow Diamond over here in Midland between two pretty good baseball teams, the Bay City All Saints Cougars and the Essexville Garber Dukes. Going to be a great, great game.
When you talk about baseball and you talk about Bay County, they're synonymous with greatness.
Yeah, there's a lot of good baseball teams, Jeff, in Bay County. A lot of good baseball players in Bay County. Right now there's some good ones. In the past we had some really good baseball players. So we have always been a hotbed in the state of Michigan in the Bay County area, in the Tri-County area, of having outstanding baseball players and outstanding baseball coaches.
Well, and you go from the minor leagues to the little leagues, which have had great success through the years. Then you go to the pony leagues, which have got national recognition. There's Colt League. And then, we're going to take a flashback to the days when if you didn't want to play Pony League and you're done with Little League, you played Senior Little League. And that was probably about 10 or 12 years that survived.
Yep.
And that was a lot of fun, too. But when you look top to bottom at the success of baseball in Bay County, it is unbelievable to see why a kid can get cut from a team. He's great, he's talented, because there is so much talent. You've got to be good, you've got to be lucky, and you've got to be special to move on.
It's really good, and we've got some great minor league coaches, Jeff, some great little league coaches. You and I talked before coming on the air. I played over at Northeast Little League, which at the time was over in Carroll Park. I have a great field right now by the bridge over on the east side. You were over at Northwest, which is the Defoe Park, which is an outstanding facility. There has been some good minor league baseball, and we got to take our hats off to the coaches, Jeff, at that younger level. They're teaching the basics to start their careers out for these young kids, and they just keep getting better and better. And eventually, we've seen a lot of our players go on to play college and some pro baseball.
Well, and another huge advantage of kids nowadays that have something that we didn't, that's those hitting clubs and clinics that they have. And they are popping up everywhere. Now kids can hit in cages year-round, and it's certainly paying dividends. Yeah,
that is certainly huge, Jeff. It's a year-round sport now. It's not just a summer sport. And many other sports now are year-round sports. Working out, weightlifting, getting in the cage, throwing during the off-season. So it is a great, great game, and we are so pleased to be here tonight. And what a great venue. And we were talking before the broadcast, Jeff. This is probably the nicest press box that we've been in a long, probably ever, and we've been treated very well, and we want to thank everybody here at Dow Diamonds and the Great Lakes Loons.
Another huge difference in the game from when you and I played. 99% of the kids when we played had a wood bat.
Yeah.
If you were lucky, you had what they called back then an ancient aluminum bat, and that was the high tech of the day. But now it's a crisp evening, and you get below 50 degrees with some of these composite bats that are $400 or $500 bats, and you're not supposed to use them at less than 50 degrees because they can dent. So it has turned into a pricey venue anymore to play baseball.
Yeah, it is not cheap, Jeff, and those bats, like you say, are expensive. The spikes are expensive. Helmets have gone up, and I remember the old magnesium bats that we used to play with when I was playing in the Little League and Pony League over at a great venue, Coryell Field, that we've played at before. So, it's just great to be back on TV with you, my friend. Our first baseball game together ever after all these years in that Dow Diamond. What a exciting thing for us, but how exciting is it for these young men of both these baseball teams?
Well, you're playing on a field that is immaculately cared for. It's like carpet in the outfield. You're getting all even hops. And you look at the surroundings and the backdrop, great for the fans, a great venue for them to watch the game as well. So we're going to talk a little bit more leading up to this game, but what a great opportunity for us to start the baseball career here on BCTV with the game at Dow Diamonds. It will be the All Saints Cougars and the Garber Dukes in just a minute, right here on BCTV.
Where did this rash come from?
Hold on, let me see. Could be bed bugs.
Oh. Mom, Grant says I have bed bugs.
Let's see what the doctor says.
Introducing Covenant Virtual Care. Real-time video doctor visits, e-prescriptions, and follow-up. Now extraordinary care comes to you.
See, it's just poison ivy. Smart advanced.
Learn more at covenantvirtualcare.com.
Well, good evening and welcome to the inaugural baseball game of BCTV. Jeff Dodd and Mike Wisdala along with you. Pleased to be at Dow Diamond tonight, where the All Saints Cougars couldn't win the first, but they'll try and come back in the nightcap against the Garber Dukes.
Yeah, Jeff lost the first game 10-5 over the Garber Dukes. Just about to get underway here in game 2. Familiar face, familiar name for Cougar fans taking them on tonight. Number 2, senior Trevor Sutton.
In the fall, he's the quarterback. In the wintertime, he's the quarterback of the basketball team at the point guard. And now he's on the mound to see if he can make things happen for them. First pitch of the ball game is a fastball inside. 1 ball and no strikes as the wind is picking up here and it gets a little bit chilly, Gwiz.
Yeah, Jeff, leading off for the Essexville Garber Dukes is number 4, Charlie Newton. And he'll be the first batter for the game for the Dukes. Just underway here at Dow Diamond.
Newton with a nice shot. Little lazy pop fly. Picked up by the shortstop of the All Saints Cougars. 1 up and 1 down in the first inning as Sutton kind of came off speed and off balance swing. Just caught off the end of the bat. Little lazy pop fly. 1 up and 1 down in the top of the first.
Up next, Jeff, for the Garber Dukes, number 14, Parker Yachek. And what we like to see, Jeff, and like to hear, a lot of familiar names from the kids we covered during the basketball season.
Indeed. We do see 3 sport athletes in the Tri-City area. The first pitch from Sutton was a ball low. That one just misses the outside corner. A little frame job by Brady Neitzel there. And that's just a thing of beauty. You just leave it there and you let the home plate umpire get that extra little look at it. This one outside, Sutton looks like he might be trying to overthrow a little bit early on. It's 3 balls and no strikes with 1 out in the top of the first inning of the nightcap. Here, this double dip at Dow Diamond.
Jeff on deck for the Essexville Garber Dukes, number 5, Logan Sella. We were impressed with the way he played the basketball game this winter. We'll see pretty shortly what he can do on the ball diamond. Ball number 4 for Yachek for the Garber Dukes.
Well, Sutton on the 3-0 pitch kind of eased up his delivery. Didn't overthrow it. It came right down the pipe. On 3-1, looked like he might have tried to put a little too much on it. Ball down near the dirt, and it's too low. Ball 4 goes over to first base, and 1 up, 1 down with 1 on here in the first for Garber Dukes. Garber's a team that likes to swipe a few bases, so we'll find out what's going on. As Logan Sella didn't like something, so he backed out of the box, and he'll start it up again. Sutton's going to at least keep an eye as the ball low. And again, when that ball is low, and Neitzel has to go down to get it, but he's also getting up with the ability to run, you really limit the view of your umpire on that pitch. And even if it's close, a lot of times they're not going to call a strike unless they're certain it's a strike.
Yeah, and Brady's a very good catcher, Jeff. He likes to put the ball, frame the ball. He's been around. It's not his first rodeo. He's been playing catcher for a long time, so he's very good at his craft right now.
Ball by Sella off the end of the bat. Little nub foul. Tossed right back onto the field. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looking
1
down,
on, 1 out. We got ones everywhere.
Number 34, Ben Van Sumeren on deck for the Garber Dukes early here in the first inning.
Wind up in the pitch. That is hit through the hole between first and second. On their way to right as the ball's picked up and back in. We already see early on both coaches, I think, really reiterated in this second game. We will hit the cutoff man and we will make plays. We will not give up extra bases. Both teams were a little guilty of that in the first game.
Yeah, we were watching that first game, and some of the runners got extra bases on it, Jeff, because they didn't hit the cutoff man properly, and that will give a baseball coach some gray hairs.
Van Sumeren is going to have an opportunity to drive in a run, first and third with one out. Sutton started from the stretch and continues in the stretch. Comes a little bit high. Boy, you can tell it's a crisp night. You can hear the pop of that catcher's pad from Brady Neitzel as he receives the pitch from Caleb Sutton.
Jeff, he brought that at 74 miles an hour. We've got the great opportunity to see the speed of the ball from the pitcher.
Well, that's just with your eye, naked eye, you can pick that up.
Or my gun that I usually carry with me.
My Jugs gun. Yes, indeed.
Boy, I haven't seen one of those in a while, have you?
Yes,
they're still out there. You see the scouts with them all the time, Jeff.
Yep, they just sit behind home plate and they use their own. You know, sometimes those MPHs that they put on the board can be slightly escalated. And so they like to have their own gauge, because if it says 98 and their jugs is saying 93, it's closer to 93 than 98.
Well, it looks good for the crowd up on the scoreboard when it's 98.
Ooh and ah factor.
Absolutely. We got a good crowd tonight too, Jeff. Faithful came out. A little bit chilly, but not a bad night for baseball here at Dow Diamond.
Sutton does a nice job and gets a lazy fly ball. Dittmer, I'll tell you what, started back off the sound, off the crack of the bat. But you know what happens? That wind knocked that ball down. Tried to have a play at the plate. Again, missed that cutoff man. You want to leave that man at first base, which gives that left side ground ball with two outs an opportunity to go to the force at second base. But a run scores on the tag up from third. It's 1-0 Garber over All Saints.
Well, in that first game, Jeff, the ball was really carrying. We saw Brady Neitzel in that first game get a triple out of here, but there was no wind in that first game. Right now it's blowing from right to left, right field to left field. I know earlier it was blowing in, so it's a brisk win here tonight at Dow Diamond for these teams.
Sutton again with a pitch just to the outside. Really hasn't been able to zero in on that strike zone in the first inning, but very capable. Does a nice job of holding the runner close at second base. Another ball high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 down in the top of the first inning. Runner on second base for the Garber Dukes. And again, you can see he's overthrown, and I see Brady Neitzel coming out. And you know what he motioned? He goes up here. He goes to the release point. We got to bring that release point. Get your arm up high and come up through the shoulder. Get that ball headed on the downward side. You'll be fine. He's a great athlete. This isn't his first game either. You know, he's played a lot of baseball, and he'll make that adjustment. Coach, this is just like a timeout. You always want to see what that first pitch is after a little discussion at the mound, just like you do after a timeout. To see
there you go.
If they absorbed what you had to say.
You've been listening, my friend.
There's hope for me yet. And again, that's up high.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's just featuring heat right now. He's not trying to throw any changeups or curveballs. He's just trying to find the strike zone with that fastball. And now with 2 down, runners at first and second. And it looks like number 6, Logan Sella, comes up to the plate with an opportunity to pick up an RBI. I would say another ball thrown by Sutton, and you may see a little trip out by Coach Woody, because he's got to calm this young man down. He is just overthrowing right now, and he's just having a trouble finding the strike zone.
There you go.
But you know what? That's a veteran right there. He just takes a deep breath, realizes I'm going to slow things down a little bit. Nice natural motion, and he throws a strike. Right on the outside corner, painted perfectly. Sella just looked at that and he went, wow, you got to tip your hat to the pitcher on that ball.
Yeah, and he brought that at 75, Jeff. He's been consistently at 74, so Trevor has really found it. He's got it back. He lost it there for a few batters, but really he's got his groove now. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes at the plate for the Garber Dukes. And number 6, a sophomore, Spencer Mahar, another one of those fine basketball players for the Essexville Garber Dukes.
Just missed. He got the outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. as Sutton is trying to get out of this first inning. Nice secondary lead at second base. As the Dukes now, everybody's going to be on the move with 3 ball and 2 strike count and 2 bodies down in the top of the first. It'll be interesting to see if Sutton's got anything off speed, because they're definitely geared up for fastball. But he likes that fastball and he's comfortable with it. Swing and a miss. A foul tip at the end of the first half of the first inning. 1-0. The Essexville Garber Dukes over the All Saints Cougars. First game started with All Saints in the top of the first with a couple, but then after a slow first inning for Garber, they erupted for 8 in the next 3 innings, 7 in the third and 1 in the fourth, and kind of took control of that ball game before All Saints tried to make a comeback late.
Yeah, All Saints hit the ball very well early in the first game, Jeff, and struggled a little bit. Garber had that big third inning where they got 7 runs, so it's just a wonderful place to play baseball, and it's a little bigger than these kids are normally used to, Jeff. That's a big outfield, not normally what they're used to at their home field, so it's a little adjustment for these young men.
And you talk about the great pleasure it is to be in this facility.
Oh, my goodness.
How about for the umpires, too? You know, people don't think about the umpires. You know, there's a lot of fields, like a lot of the press boxes that we've been in over the decades, that are less than desirable, but what an honor to be able to do a game from these confines.
Yeah, we got a couple of veterans right there, Jeff, behind the plate in the second game. Bob Adamowski with the Masters, Bob, and then to his right, Paul Anderson, who has been around forever. Actually ref back in the day when I was playing. So we got some veteran umpires, great coaches, good teams, a lot of fun for the fans, and just a great venue. And what a pleasure for us, Jeff, to be here at Dow Diamonds to do our first baseball game together.
And it certainly is only going to take a couple of days before we do it next. Yeah. We are going to have the Pinconning area Spartans and the Standish Sterling Central Panthers knotting heads here in just a couple of days at Dow Diamond. And what a great concept for Dow Diamond to show off their facility and allow all these high school kids to come. Great venue for the fans as well. You know, a lot of times you get stuck just bringing your lawn chair to try and watch the game, and this will be the last year you see that scoreboard. They're going to be replacing it. That'll cost a few dimes.
Yeah, you know, and actually sitting in the booth we're in, Jeff, talking to some of the staff. Paul Barbeau, the president and CEO of the Loons, sits in here. Then they also told me Tommy Lasorda has sat in this booth a time or two. So we feel very privileged to sit in some nice area with some high rent kind of guys.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, this is almost Johnson Street-esque. First pitch of the ball game is up high as Sutton will lead off for the All Saints Cougars.
Pitching for the Garber Dukes, number 5, the senior, Logan Sella.
Well, you know Logan Sella's bringing it. He's got 76. And there's not a lot of off-speed. The first game, both pitchers were trying to mix things up a little bit. It's pretty much showing the heat here as the pitch right down the middle on the 2-0. Sutton taking all the way. Wanting to see a couple of pitches to make sure that Sella can find that strike zone consistently early on. Wind up in the pitch. Sutton with a nice rip and an inside third fastball. Couldn't catch up to it as Sella really got after it.
A little bit 79 right there on the scoreboard, Jeff, for Sella.
And there is.
Oh, boy.
No, that was definitely inside. And it's going to be fun, though, as, you know, I've officiated the game over the years, too, so it'll be fun to watch the unspoken signals from the officials, knowing back and forth, and we'll kind of try and fill you in on that as well. There is a line drive, but right straight to the center fielder from Sutton. He tagged it. 1 up and 1 down in the top of the first. All Saints Cougars batting in the bottom of the first, down 1-0. Anthony Nemec, number 5, will be the number 2 hitter. As defense shades him just to the left a little bit. On the inside corner with the first pitch. And I'm telling you, when you come up by the hands on the inside corner, that's a very, very tough pitch to catch up to. On a chilly night tonight, if you do catch up to it, the old hands will be ringing for a while. And if you don't know what we're talking about, it certainly has never happened to you. You catch that ball high and tight, and you hit it off the handle of the bat, and your fingers are ringing and buzzing.
It's an interesting
feeling. Stung like a bee.
It's an interesting feeling if you never had the opportunity to get.
It's only like a cramp.
Yeah, it's only.
It's just a cramp. As it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Ball fouled off. That might have made it out of the stadium. As that ball took off in a hurry and goes back out. And you know, the other thing you don't think about in these games, Mike, is that ball, if you hit 3-4 foul balls off this cement, they start to scuff up. But it's not like the big leagues where you've got 3-4 dozen balls. You know, you bring a half a dozen and you make them work.
Yeah, they're throwing these balls back on the field if they get them in the stands, Jeff.
No free bag of popcorn with these.
No, it's not like Coryell Field. You got to throw them back.
Swing and a miss. There's a high heat again. If the All Saints Cougars continue to swing at that high heat, Mike, it's going to be a long night because Sella's really bringing it around 80 miles an hour up around the letters. Yeah,
Logan's got a nice, smooth pitch, Jeff. He looks very comfortable out there on the mound, doing a nice job. It's nice and smooth, long and lean, and it's got a nice pitch. Got that one up to 80 miles an hour.
I'm going to do the K-track in this ball game, too. We'll keep track of Sella's strikeouts. Ooh, a little, you get a little too cozy in the box, and they bring that ball inside. And backing out of the way in a hurry was Dittmer. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the first. There's a lazy fly ball, the wind knocking it down, and a routine play for the Garber Dukes left fielder. That'll be the end of our first inning of play with our score. The Garber Dukes 1 and the All Saints Cougars nothing. Back in a minute here on BCTV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested service. We provide many types of transportation services, from non-emergency medical, wheelchair accessible, school transport services, and shuttle services. Our company strives to provide exceptional service to our customers. Our services are tailored to each person or company's specific needs. For the last 10 years, we have pushed the mark higher and higher to give the best service possible. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine.
Back here on BCTV, top of the second inning. It's Air Reinhardt.
You know, they got some great sponsors up here at Dow Diamond, Jeff. You look over on the big outfield fence. Of course, you got Dow and Chemical Bank with their new logo for over 100 years. They've been around. Like you said, Air Reinhardt. You know, and if you haven't been here to Dow Diamond, what a great venue. They got the fire pit out there in left field, and a lot of good family fun here when the Loons are in town.
When the Loons are in town, the in-between innings are spectacular, family, fun, friendly stuff, and they definitely make it happen. So, and you could get in for $6.50 if you just want to bring your lawn chair and sit on the lawn and watch the game, and that's pretty cheap entertainment. Fireworks once a week. So we'll get back to the top of the second inning. Up to bat for the Garber Dukes is number 40.
Yeah, that was right up by us.
Yes. I don't see a number 40 on my roster. Did they slide a number change in there on me, or? We'll have to check the number of the young man and the name, as it's a ball and a strike. Nobody out once again at the top of the second inning. As a ball high and outside again, 2 balls and 1 strike. As another 76-mile-an-hour fastball from Caleb Sutton. Nice adjustment. He gets a high pop fly, and again, first step from the infielders, Mike, is backwards. And then that wind takes it, and he takes 2 steps out of the outfield grass and then comes flying in and catches it on the front of the infield grass. So 1 up and 1 down in the top of that second inning.
Ball was caught by number 5, Nemec. Jeff, for the base of the All Saints Cougars.
How about that camera work out there?
I'll tell you what, outstanding placement of the cameras tonight. Got to talk about the behind-the-scenes crew again, Jeff, on their A game after a little bit of a lull from winter sports.
Yes, indeed. Ready to make it happen again. Sutton, 1 ball and no strikes, up high with a 2-0 count. I'm Jeff Doan along with Mike Wisdella. Jeff Hildebrandt and Natalie Doan on the camera action tonight, trying to stay warm on a chilly night. Produced and direct by Nick Page. Great crew. Our BC TV family couldn't be happier to be part of this great organization.
Well, this young man's on the all-name team, Jeff. Number 17, Brennan Irish for the Garber Dukes. You got to love that name. He's going to get a walk. Going to hustle down the first base. 1 out, 1 on here in the top of the second inning.
Getting ready to come up to bat for the Garber Dukes. Looks like Eric Noggle. And Noggle will bat with 1 out and a runner on first base. Sutton with a double look just to freeze the runner. Comes with a nice pitch on the inside corner of the plate. And again, unless you're looking for that pitch on the inside, very tough for kids to get their hands in and turn on that ball on the inside third.
One thing about the battery mates we've got tonight, Jeff, Sutton and Neitzel, these young men have played the game of baseball together for a very long time, so they're very familiar with all their little techniques and all the things that they do together. So Brady knows Trevor, and Trevor knows Brady, so that really helps when you're a pitcher-catcher combo.
Really not being able to drive through that ball again. Looks like he's trying to just overthrow a little bit. And Eagle just comes with a half swing where he looked like he wanted to swing stop, but he just couldn't slow that bat down through the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Garber Duke. Up high again.
Well, they're close.
Yep.
They're just a little bit high, but they're close. It's kind of teasing them a little bit, Jeff, with that high and away. Let's see what he comes with this next pitch.
It's coming right down Broadway.
Another
and
high.
it did go right down Broadway, but shoulder high. As now if you get an opportunity, we're going to look at the second base official. He's going to look home in just a minute, and he is going to take the right hand, and he is going to touch the left chest just before they got a pitching coach as Coach Woody's coming out, and he'll have a little confab right now. All right, what's going on with the confab right now is you bring in the infield, Mike. What they're going to do is they're going to first, coach is going to talk to Sutton and try and calm him down. But then he's going to say another thing. He's like 2 men on, 1 man out, situational baseball. What happens? Where do we go if the ball's bunted? How do we make sure we got the bases covered?
Yep.
Are we going to make sure that we make at least 1 out on this play no matter what happens so that we don't give up a big inning?
Yeah, you know, Jeff, it's just like you said. It's a timeout. They're going out, situational baseball. They're going to talk. Where you're going to go if it's hit here? Where you're going to go if it's hit there? If it's are we going to hit the cutoff man and give up a run? What are we going to do? So it's just a quick reminder to all the fellas what they're going to do. And like you said, the the umpires will do the right hand up to across the left chest, just like they did right there.
And that signifies infield fly rule is in effect. You think they're standing there for the national anthem? Nope, that's what they do.
I knew you were going to say that.
Sutton again comes with a high, tight pitch. It's 1 ball and no strikes. As a Garber Duke hitter right now, you almost got to have about a dinner-sized plate that you're looking for the ball on. If it's not there, you might want to just let it go because Sutton is really struggling right now to try and find that strike zone.
Yeah, and they're just going to let him pitch it, Jeff. They're not even going to swing at it right now. He's having a little bit of trouble, and if they could get another guy on, they're going to get another guy on. So they're going to look at them all, and they're going to make him pitch. Nobody warming up in the pen right now yet for the Cougars. We're in the top of the second. Essexville Garber up 1-0 over the base of the All Saints Cougars. And again, Newton 4 pitches, 4 straight balls.
Up next will be Parker Jacek. And they may be making a change. The second trip out will signify that.
Looks like they're going to bring in Grant Dittmer from center field, Jeff, to be the relief pitcher.
And we know, again, a multi-sport athlete. We're talking about kids who were very, very familiar with. They look a little bit different with shirts and pants on than they did with shorts and tanks on, but it's all the same. And, great to see those kids. They got a glove for every occasion. If I'm playing infield, got a little smaller glove, big outfield glove, and separate glove for the pitcher.
Yeah, and he went in the dugout, got the new glove, Jeff. You'll get an opportunity to warm up, but talked to Grant's dad before the game. Was very happy with the basketball season and told us how much they enjoyed BCTV this winter. And I say, we were just pleased as punch to bring it to you, and we had a lot of fun and looking forward to the more soccer and softball and baseball and some football in the fall and other things.
For us, Mike, we cut our teeth here. It was we started, and what a great opportunity that we got to come back. And now we're going to expand from just football and basketball as we take a pick at Dittmer as he's getting through his warm-up phase. But to try and bring the wide world of Bay County sports to you.
Well, and last week you had the great opportunity to work with Chuck Hewitt doing a lacrosse game, Western Central, at Ingalls Stadium. Jeff, I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but I had another commitment. But I took a peek at that. That was a very good job by you and Chuck, and we want to thank Chuck for stepping in. And he really is a coach of the game, understands the game. There's the playground for the younger folk here that don't want to watch the game but want to have a good time anyway. So, we're going to try just bring you a plethora of sporting events here on Bay County TV, and it's just unique things we got going on here.
Serving the Bay community is what we're all about. And, when we tried to put together our first spring of sports, we want to try and have as many sports realized as we can. They all work hard. They all deserve a little love.
Yep. They all do a great job, Jeff. We're going to try to do our best and get them all on. But right now, let's get back to a little baseball. Dittmer's ready to go for the Cougars.
Dittmer, the windup of the pitch on the first pitch. Huge difference with that ball release coming from a left-hander now, as that will be coming into the right-handers. It's 1 strike on the second pitch as well. 79 miles an hour on that heat. And I'll tell you what, after 2 straight fastballs, if he's got something he can pull the string on, this is going to be strike 3. Tried to go a little bit outside. That pitch was what you call an intent pitch. Really no intent on making that hit the strike zone. Seeing if they can get the Jacek to swing and miss. On the inside third of the plate, and I think that's strike 3.
Oh, he did call that a strike, didn't he?
He stood there, yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Jacek, when he's up to bat, he crowds the plate, and that ball did hit on the inside of the third, and I would say we have a pretty fair vantage view. We're right straight behind home plate.
Yeah, we've got the catbird seat up here, Jeff, right directly behind home plate.
Ball just outside again. I like Brady because I'll tell you, Brady Neitzel, if that ball's even close, he's sitting there just that split-second frame to give the umpire an extra second look to go, wow, that was close.
Yeah, you get it.
Foul ball off of the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike, 80 miles an hour on that last pitch. Might be the first ball we've seen hit 89. We've seen a couple of 79-mile-an-hour fastballs, but at 80, Dittmer on the outside corner again.
On the black right there, Jeff.
Pretty.
That was pretty. That was pretty. Logan Sella, number 5, the senior, at the plate for the Garber Dukes.
And lefty versus lefty just missed on the outside corner. Dittmer took an extra look at that. And Brady Neitzel turned around, but I think Bob Adamowski had that one perfectly set.
I thought so.
When you're an umpire, you're on what they call that inside slot. And that outside pitch is the one that's a little bit tough to see. but the inside slot is where you're taught to be. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. And I don't think there's any doubt that this thing is going to be coming right down the middle, and it's going to be 79 or 80 miles an hour. Just missed.
Boy,
and I'll
just
tell you,
missed.
forced in a run as Dittmer was hoping that pitch touched the corner, but it was just outside.
Up to the plate now for the Essexville Garber Dukes, number 34, Ben Van Sumeren. We've got us a 2-0 ball game. Garber Dukes on top of the All Saints Cougars here in the bottom of the second inning, right here on BCTV at the Dow Diamond, Jeff.
First pitch by Dittmer, a foul tip from Van Sumeren, and an 82 on the gun that time as he is really starting to warm it up. I mean, you come into the ball game and your first 12, 15 pitches, you're just trying to loosen up, and he's really starting to get it going now. And there's a little bender the first time. And you know what? That's a purpose pitch. You don't need to throw that for a strike. The timing on that batter is definitely thrown off with that 69 mile an hour speed. Now a new height, 83, as it goes up on the board. I would say if he hits 85, that is amazing for a high school athlete to be throwing fire. Again, curveball just outside. First one way outside. Second one just outside. He'll throw another one, and that's going to find it. Oh, yes.
He's setting this thing up,
well, he's getting a feel for it.
Yeah, he's setting this thing up.
Van Sumeren wondering what he's going to get. He saw a heater, and he says, I don't want to see another curveball. I'm swinging at the heat with the bases juiced. Dittmer gets out of trouble, but not before the Essexville Garber Dukes get another run. At the end of 1.5 innings, it's Garber 2 and the All Saints Cougars nothing. We'll keep it right here as we look at some of the fans, and they're a little bit chilly. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, they're used to spring baseball, and they're dressed for the occasion, just like our Jeff Hildebrandt and Natalie Doan are dressed for the occasion out there, braving the temperatures outside.
Well, and we've had a pretty rough spring this year, Jeff. We've had a lot of rain and a lot of wind and things like that, a lot of cold weather, so these kids are very happy to get games in. There's been a lot of games canceled for a lot of teams in the Bay County area, and there's not really an opportunity to make up a lot of these games because they're getting down towards the end of the season. So when you can get them in, no matter, as long as you don't have rain and you don't have lightning, you're going to try to play them as much as you can.
Well, you wouldn't be talking about a perfect example of this game being postponed and having to be replayed.
Well, it was. We were supposed to be here a week ago, and they had to postpone it, and here we are. Back a week later, just happy to be here at Dow Diamond. And like you said earlier, Jeff, we're going to be back in a couple days for another varsity contest. We've got a couple old Northeast Michigan Conference nemesis going at each other, the Pinconning area Spartans, and a team that we're very familiar with from Northeast Michigan during our days up there with WKJC, the Standish Sterling Central Panthers.
That will be fun. We've got some business to take care of here, and Papa Blast, as we've nicknamed him, Brady Neitzel, will be up first in the first inning of the first game. He hit a ball, a screaming shot to the warning track where the right fielder just saw that ball, took off, and he just turned his head and started back towards the fence. Brady made it all the way into third. That's as hard a hit ball as we've seen tonight. Neitzel right now tuned into the batter's box. 78-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner. What a perfect first pitch by the Garber Dukes. Neitzel, I'll tell you what, that is incredible. Just sticks out that bat, turns the wrists over, and hits a little soft liner right back up the middle.
You know, Jeff, he just went with the pitch, didn't try to pull it, was outside, just put the bat on it, kept his head down, head on the bat, just drove it right up the middle, went with the pitch. Great job of hitting by Brady Neitzel.
And we got a designated runner into the ball game as well. Looks like that could be
number 3 for the base of the All Saints Cougars, and that is Juan Mendoza for the Cougars.
As that ball is down, and Van Sumeren tried to pick it up. Sella tried to pick that up before he had it in his hand. He just peeked a little too soon. And what was supposed to just be a sacrifice bunt ends up being runners on first and second base with nobody out for the All Saints Cougars, number 4, Grekovich.
That was a nice bunt by number 1 for the Cougars, Jeff. That was Joe Tanny putting the ball down in a nice spot. First and second for the Cougars.
Another bunt is foul. And I'll tell you, defensively for the Garber Dukes, they had Brennan Irish. I mean, he is right up on the infield grass. He is fully anticipating bunt. If I'm bunting, though, I want to make sure that Austin Grekovich gets this down the third baseline so that they don't have an opportunity to get that runner at third. Look at that, calling off the bunt. Coach Woody's playing a little cat and mouse game out there right now, because you love it when you at least show bunt, because the infielders are all starting to move. It creates a few extra holes on the infield. Outfield playing him to pull just a little bit, but they're playing him up the middle, and the second baseman really playing a little bit towards right. So interesting to see the lineup in the outfield versus the infield, as it's a 2-1 count right now on the All Saints Cougars. Right down the middle is the pitch that Austin Grekovich took. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Logan Sella threw a gem there.
That was a pretty looking pitch, Jeff, coming in at 76 miles an hour. 2-2 for Austin Grekovich of the Cougars.
A little bit high and tight. That's usually a purpose pitch. Moving the feet just a little bit. So it is 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out. Does Coach Woody go with the runners in motion here with nobody out? And he does not. Grekovich
fought that one. Yeah, great minds think alike. Fought that one off, Jeff. Still alive, 3-2 for Grekovich. First and second for the Cougars. They're down 2-0 to the Essexville Garber Dukes.
You call that the emergency swing?
Yes. You just want to get a piece of it.
Yep, and live for another swing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And outside. So the bases are now juiced.
Good piece of hitting by number 4, Austin Grekovich, for the base of the All Saints Cougars, Jeff. Really nice, patient hitting. Got that last pitch, got a piece fouled off, got the ball, got the bases loaded for the Cougars.
Nobody out, and John Van Sumeren coming to the plate for the All Saints Cougars. There's a ball hitting the hole. Trying to go to first base. They will get the out at first base. A run scored, though, for the All Saints Cougars, as it becomes a 2-1 game right now with runners on second and third. Great play by the shortstop to get to that ball. Kind of misplayed it for a second, picked it up, showed his arm strength, though, with a powerful throw across the infield.
Yeah, Parker Jacek is a shortstop for the Dukes, Jeff. Good patience also with the ball. Didn't get rattled, picked it up, made a nice throw over to first base.
Right down the middle as the All Saints batter is Grant Geringer. As it's no balls in 1 strike with 1 down, runners on second and third. There's a beautiful loop into right center field. Is that going to be caught? It is going to be caught. And coming back as the run will score. And I'll tell you what, if the right fielder goes to second base, they've got themselves the 3rd out of the inning. And that run would not have scored.
He was halfway down to third base, Jeff, was Grekovich. He was all the way halfway down, and he got back just in time. The ball got away. 2-1 now. Dukes over the Cougars in the bottom of the second.
2-2.
2-2, I'm sorry. You're right.
2-2. That reminds me of a fashion statement from back in the day, but we'll stick with baseball here. Still a runner on second base, 2 outs. 1 ball, no strike count. Right down the middle, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's Logan Sella with that strike. I'll spit it out here yet. Cougars tying it up right now, looking for more. Just on the outside corner, paints a pretty one. And I'll tell you what, when you look at that, there's really not a lot you're going to do about that pitch.
Yeah, I think this is Evan Lay up to bat, Jeff, for the base of the All Saints Cougars. We'll double check that number.
I think they did a number El Swapo on us. It's number 15. I don't have that young man on the roster.
We've got a couple guys we're going to go check with the official scorekeeper and announcer over at the next booth. Jeff, we'll check that in a few minutes, see and make sure we got everybody right.
3 balls and 2 strikes. And, you put a little pressure on the pitcher when you have a shorter hitter up there. You really don't have a big zone to try and pitch that thing to. And nice. Went out of the strike zone, but was able to get just a piece of the ball. And we'll redo the 3-2. The other thing that's beautiful is if that ball gets out of the infield at all with the 3-2 count and 2 out and the runner going from second, he's got a good chance to score.
Certainly does.
There's the pitch to the outside again.
Again, a good patient at bat by the Cougars, Jeff. They're fighting off some pitches, taking it to 3-2. First and second for the Cougars. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, Jeff. 2-2 tie with the Dukes in base of the All Saints.
Trevor Sutton up to bat for the All Saints Cougars with an opportunity to make some noise and put the Cougars potentially in front in this game. Right in the outside corner. I want to tell you what, Sella has really painted that corner.
Both pitchers, Dittmer for All Saints and Sella for Essexville Garber, Jeff, doing a nice job painting the outside of the plate on those outside pitches.
Boy, a little 71-mile-an-hour change of speed, little change up, and Sutton was way out in front. Now as a hitter, you've seen heat and you've seen the changeup. Now you really start the thinking process as a hitter. You got to look for a fastball here at 0-2, and he got the fastball, and it was high and tight.
Well, at 0-2, that's a pitch you can throw in the dirt. You can throw high. Just make sure it doesn't get away from the catcher, Jeff, and move the runners up. But that's a pitch that's a pitcher's dream at 0-2.
Well, my friend Rod Allen says that's the one that changes your eye level, and then they go downstairs and look at that. He snapped off a Charlie there, and the curveball got him on strike 3 as Sutton was all tied up. At the end of 2, we're tied up at 2. Back in just a minute here on BC TV.
This presentation of high school sports on Bay County TV is brought to you in part by Renew Physical Therapy, with 7 convenient locations in the Great Lakes Bay region, including Au Gres, Bay City, Frankenmuth, Freeland, Midland, Saginaw, and Shields. At Renew Physical Therapy, there is a difference.
Back here on BC TV, Jeff Dodd and Mike Wasdala along with you. And the first game, Old Glory was just hanging around. In this game, that northeast wind is starting to pop up off the bay and remind us that it's still early May in Michigan, Brother Gwynn.
It feels like football season up here tonight, Jeff. But you look at those flags, you got the Loons flag, their logo, great logo. You got Old Glory in the middle, and Jeff, the Midwest League champions of 2016, the Great Lakes Loons, going to look to repeat this year of having a great start so far. A little bit of a struggle for the Loons, but you know what? They started slow last year, but boy, did they play great baseball at the end of the season.
Well, you got to remind yourself, too, there's a lot of 18 and 19-year-old kids on the field, and they still do make mistakes. The batter is number 2, and that's Andrew Kazmierski. And he goes fishing for that first high-type fastball. No balls in 1 strike. Dittmer is just rearing back and bringing it right now. No balls in 2 strikes. See if Dittmer, I don't think he's going to go off speed because I don't think Kazmierski has proven that he could catch up with either one of those. 78 miles an hour on the fastball. Again, purposely outside, wanted to see how far out he might go fishing. Out of the windup. And the pitch just off the corner again. Absolutely perfectly placed. Neitzel didn't even move his glove. He wanted that ball off the plate. He hit it there, hoping that the Garber Dukes would go for a fish, and they did not. 2-2 the count. Just to the inside now, full count. Dittmer got him 0-2, and then he tried to toy with him a little bit. Now he's got to get back down to business.
Yeah, you're going to look for one right down Main Street right here, Jeff, by Dittmer.
Kazmierski looking for the pitch, and he hits it to shortstop. Quick little bobble coming back across the infield grass. Kazmierski with good speed beats that out. Whenever you bobble the ball from deep in the hole, you're going to find yourself in a situation where it's tough to throw them out.
That ball was well hit by Kazmierski, Jeff, to the shortstop of the Cougars. A little bit of a bobble, had a nice throw, just a touch late. Infield hit for the Essexville Garber Dukes. Nobody out here in the top of the third.
Now you force Dittmer out of the stretch. When you're a lefty, though, you sure get a good look at that runner at first base. They're taking off a good bunt in front of the plate. Dittmer with a nice move, spins around and is able to get the runner at first base. Nice stretch by the first baseman from All Saints, because that thing would have sailed into right field otherwise. Now, as a runner, you're taught go as far inside as you legally can be to make that throwing angle tough, and he did that.
Well, and it was a nice job by Dittmer, Jeff. He got off that mound. He was cat quick, got there. Good strike to the first baseman for the Cougars to get that first out of the inning. Good job, a small ball by the Essexville Garber Dukes.
Looked like garden hire out there for a minute, making it happen. Again, the Garber Dukes have got number 40 up to bat, and we could not get confirmation on who that young man is. And Dittmer, I'll tell you, with that great inside fastball at 79 miles an hour, just froze the Garber Duke batter. Going to the outside corner, just missing off the corner. 1 ball and 1 strike with that 80-mile-an-hour offer.
Well, the young man, Dittmer's not afraid to go inside, Jeff, high, low, outside. So he's got a variety of pitches and can place it very well.
Boy, and they are just a little bit leery of the base running speed. Whenever you get a pitcher standing up, you'll always hear it. And we had one in the audience says, "Balk!" Do they really totally understand what a balk is, or do they just see anything out of the ordinary and then balk, balk? It's all part of the game, though, and it's all fun to hear it.
That's right. That's right. You know, if you got referees for basketball sitting in the stands, we got to have umpires in the stands.
Oh, yeah, umpires everywhere.
Umpires everywhere.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that one was headed right back for Jeff Hildebrandt. Good thing that we've got a screen in place for that protection of that. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. Runner on second base for the Garber Dukes. Tied at 2 in the top of the third inning here from Dow Diamond. It is the Garber Dukes and the All Saints Cougars. What a beautiful pitch. Just a little bit low, though. 2 balls and a strike.
Number 40, Jeff, put it on your roster. Riley Schimmel.
Oh, beautiful.
For the Essexville Garber Dukes. And we're producer, director Nick Page all over finding Riley's number for us.
Right down the middle with another pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I tell you, producer, director extraordinaire.
But guess who he got it from?
Natalie Doan.
There you go.
Yep.
She knows everybody.
Natalie doesn't need a scorecard. I'll tell you, that young lady, she knows the faces in beautiful Bay City.
Yeah, she was down in the crowd having a little za before game number 2 with some of her friends.
You know, when you're moving and shaking, when you got a chance to eat pizza and the garlic knots and the cinnamon bread, you go with it.
I just question why she wants to hang out with us. That's my biggest.
You know, she's still young and impressionable. There's a little soft liner to right field. Nice job defensively to play that thing back. And the Garber Dukes are going to be able to score a run on that play. You know, and then when you're not certain you're going to get to that ball, Mike, you got to keep the big inning from happening. He hit at the cutoff man to keep that runner at first base instead of airmailing the ball home, allowing that runner to go to second base.
Well, nice job by Kazmierski, Jeff, taking off with the hit, watching his coach all the way around, came in to score. Dukes with the 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the third inning.
It certainly helps off the crack of the bat with 2 outs you're running. So there is a strike to number 9 on the play. That is Eric Noggle. Noggle down 0-1 right now. Well, I'll tell you, just coming with the letter high heat. And that ball just sailed by number 9 Noggle.
Pretty sound when it hits that glove like that, isn't it, Jeff?
0-2, and he just takes a touch off it. Strike 3 as Dittmer takes care of the Garber Dukes, but not before they pick up another run at the end of 2.5 innings. It is the Essexville Garber Dukes 3 and the Bay City All Saints Cougars 2. We're going to keep it right here. And again, as you look out at the flags, Mike, now it's starting to calm down just a little bit. But as you get to the dusk factor in tonight, it's just going to get chilly. The lights are on here. The kids have an opportunity to play under the lights, which is something they don't get a ton of opportunities to do.
Yeah, not a lot of night games in high school, Jeff. They probably play around 2:30, 3 o'clock to try to get the first game started by maybe a little 3:15. Not a lot of night games, but again, a big thrill for these young men to be able to play here at Dow Diamond. The first game during the daytime, turn the lights on. Nightcap here at Dow Diamond, and really exciting for these kids.
And when you talk about a 3:30 or a 4 o'clock start in the afternoon, the one thing you forget about, Mike, is how tough it is for the parents and the fans to be able to come to the game. How much more do they enjoy being able to actually work a full day, get out of work, maybe grab a quick bite or get a dog or something to eat here and be here at the start of the first game and be able to watch both ends of the double dip.
Yeah, and it's good for the parents, Jeff, and this is something that the parents will always remember their sons playing here at Dow Diamond. We've got about 56 degrees with a little bit of a breeze, so you're probably talking in the high 40s with the wind blowing and stuff, Jeff. So, but again, I keep saying it, it's a great experience for these young men to be able to say they played at a major league ballpark, which it is. It's a Class A affiliate for the Dodgers here with the Loons. It's a major league ballpark and one of the best minor league ballparks in the country.
Yes, I say that indeed as well. Anthony Nemec up to bat for the All Saints Cougars, down 3-2 in the bottom of the third inning.
They didn't spare any expense here, Jeff. They've done a great job, and they add a touch every year. They try to do something a little bit different.
Well, the last few years they've added that hitting backdrop, and that is just a great addition to this ballpark. You cruise around the outfields, and again, you talked about having the areas out there where they've got the little heaters going so that you can catch a little fireplace action and warm up on a chilly night. And plenty of places to get stuff to eat and drink around here. You can bring your lawn chair or a blanket. Boy, and there's a nice change of pace. 68-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch that absolutely froze Anthony Nemec.
Anthony Nemec, the batter, Jeff, just like you said. And on deck, number 7, Grant Dittmer for the Cougars. Right at number 17, the first baseman, Brennan Irish. Hard hit, Jeff, right at Brennan, out number 1 for the Cougars.
Well, Nemec had the right idea. He just stayed on that outside pitch, didn't try to do anything fancy or special with it. Hit it the way it was pitched, and it just could not get over the head of the first baseman, but a nice defensive play that time by Irish.
You and I talking about the park here, Jeff. We had the opportunity, you and I, to be here at the very first game ever played at Dow Diamond.
And that was fun. Wow. That ball has a chance to get up the gap. Look at the wind. Take it back. It's finally caught by the left fielder for the Garber Dukes. But that thing, when it left the bat, looked like it was going up the alley and just enough of a breeze. Plus, it had that tailspin coming off of the bat. And if that gets missed, that's at least 3 bases, if not 4.
Yeah, it had a little slice to it, Jeff. A great job out there by number 34 for the Essexville Garber Dukes. And that is Ben Van Sumeren. Fought off the wind, fought off a little bit of the lights, too, I think. Made a great catch. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning for the Garber Dukes.
And Van Sumeren definitely said, I got this. Whoa, yes, I did make a nice play on it, but he stayed with it, and he made the catch. Again, nice job as Sella is out on the mound, changing speed, inside, outside, up and down with the ball, really trying to keep these All Saints Cougars offensively off guard. Wind up of the pitch. Another 68-mile-an-hour curveball, and it just comes in looking like it's going to be outside. Just the second you give up on it, it finds the strike zone. Brady Neitzel, though, has got a great command of the strike zone. 1-2 the count. Ball outside.
Good eye. Good pitch right there, too, by Sella.
See if he can get him to go fishing.
Yep.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down, nobody on for the All Saints Cougars in the third. Cleanup hitter Brady Knights up the bat. Some outside noise, I guess. Sella wanted to make sure he was totally focused.
Sounds like a motorcycle going by.
Brady, I'll tell you, he just hit another soft liner out to center field, and that ball was caught. So we have played 3 innings of ball. It is 3-2 Garber over All Saints. Back in a minute here on BCTV.
The Times Lofts in downtown Bay City is the area's newest and finest apartment living with units that meet your every need, including stainless steel appliances. With prices starting at $850, there is something for everyone. To receive further information and find your dream loft, call us at 989-893-2000 or visit us on our website at thetimeslofts.com.
Back here on BCTV, Jeff Dodd and Mike Wisdala along with you. That little pavilion down the left field line is a great place to eat, drink, and be merry in the summertime here at the Dow Diamond.
Yeah, that's a great place out there, Jeff. You know, you've got the refreshments underneath the pavilion, and you got those tables all set up down there. And again, a great place to watch a game. They have done a very nice job here at Dow Diamond, making this a family atmosphere. And really, what a great job saying to these high school teams in the area, when the Loons are out of town, why don't you bring your kids over and play, and we'll let you experience one of the best parks in the country in the minor league systems.
When these kids ended the first game, normally there's about a 10 to 15 minute break between games. The full grounds crew came out for the Dow Diamond Complex and redid the entirety of the field. They tamped everything down around the plate and redid it all. We had about a 25-minute break in between games as the first pitch is a beauty, a 69-mile-an-hour changeup by Dittmer. But, I mean, they redid, rechalked, and redid the entirety of the field, and it was fun. I'll tell you, Dittmer is dealing right now 0-2. On the batter from the Garber Dukes.
That's number 4, Charlie Newton, up for the Dukes. He's down 0-2.
Dittmer, another purpose pitch, changing the eye level. He's still tossing 80 miles an hour plus. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Top of the 4th. And there it is. You change the eye level and you throw another off-speed pitch at 69. You're out on the front foot. Can't hold back. Another strikeout for Dittmer.
Up to bat now for the Essexville Garber Dukes, number 14. That's Parker Yachek. On deck for the Dukes, number 5. That's Logan Sella.
Yachek also plays shortstop. And I'm going to tell you what, he is probably one of those people that crowds the plate more than anybody else that I've seen in tonight's game. He really must feel comfortable that he can get the hand speed to come around on that inside pitch, because, you know, if I'm a pitcher and I see him that tight, I'm going to be pounding the inside of the plate.
You're going to have to pull the hands in if it comes inside, Jeff. And he's very tight. Another nice pitch by Dittmer. You know, Parker's had a nice couple games tonight from that shortstop position.
You know, also one of the things he may do, it may intimidate some pitchers to have somebody hanging over the middle of the plate like that. You don't want to throw at somebody like that and risk coming an inch or two inside and plucking them. So maybe there's a little psychological game going on at the same time. Not that any of that would ever happen during the game.
Not in sports.
2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a ball just kind of nubbed off the end of the bat. Foul down the left field side. Remains 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Still 3-2. Garber over All Saints. Glad to have you along on our first ever BCTV high school baseball game. What an honor and a pleasure it is for myself and Mike Wisdala to do that game. There's a foul ball that will get back into the stands. As Brady Neitzel turned and he took a couple of steps and he goes, I think I'll conserve my energy for something that might stay on the field.
Well, and that ball almost came right back off the bleachers, Jeff, back onto the field. So they put it into the Garber dugout. 2-2 for Yachek.
Wind up of the pitch from Dittmer. Yachek hanging tough. That ball bouncing off the facade here on the upper level.
Right off the Dow Chemical suite, Jeff, right off the windows.
tell you.
So you know what kind of glass they have up here.
It is. I'm glad, too. 2 balls and 2 strikes once again. Jacek holding tough. Another off-speed pitch at 71 miles an hour. Dittmer is dealing, and he gets Jacek for out number 2 here in the top of the 4th. Now batting Logan Sella, number 5, southpaw there. You know, you got to love it when you're a southpaw swinger, Mike, because you're about 2 steps closer to first base when you make contact.
Yeah, Logan's done a nice job pitching tonight, Jeff. Had a good game in the first win for the Garber Dukes at game number 1. Garber won that game 10-5 over the base of the All Saints Cougars. We're in game number 2 here at Dow Diamond.
Oh, boy, that nice little curveball. Sella was bailing, and that thing came back over the plate. It was too high. Nice movement on that curveball, though, by Dittmer.
Another one.
And I'm going to tell you what, when you get that temporary buckle of the knee, there is no way that you're going to get a meaningful swing after that. What a great back-to-back pitch. And he comes back with number 3. That's pretty good respect for the hitter when you throw 3 straight curveballs.
And Logan Sella's got a nice variety of pitches, too, for the Garber Dukes, Jeff.
And there's another off-speed, 4 straight off-speed pitches. And that one caught Sella just a little bit off guard again. Now sitting here with 2 strikes, you got to guard against the fastball, but after 4 straight off-speed pitches, what do you see? Well, we'll find out in a second. That ball paints the outside corner just an inch off of the outside, and the count is full. Boy, when you take a pitch like that, you're either got a great eye or you were looking off speed and you got caught.
I think he's got a great eye.
Yes. That ball is foul again. Kind of the old emergency swing once again, just trying to stay alive for another pitch. And love these great battles. Again, the Garber Dukes, the last few hitters have been very patient at the plate going deep in the count.
Yep, and that's a good sign of some good coaching right there, Jeff, too.
Down the left field line, just foul by about a foot. And that ball ended up underneath the seats out there where the bullpen pitchers sit. So somebody else will have to go down and get that. And they say we need that ball.
Well, we got one up here. I guess we're going to have to throw that back out there in one of these innings, Jeff. Let them know. We'll get it to him.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, it's going to take quite the shot to get it up over the netting. Well, we'll just throw it right out to Dittmer. We'll give him the old heave-ho and say, here it comes.
I'm going to have to throw it underhand. If I'm going to throw it, I was going to have to like it's a softball.
3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs again. Dittmer and Sella. There's a high fly ball to right field. The wind knocks it down, though, and the ball is caught. Sella gave it a ride, but that'll do it for the top of the 4th inning. 3-2 our score, as the All Saints Cougars will come and try and pick up that run that puts them behind at this point right now. And Mike, again, we're halfway through this ball game, and it's been a lot of fun so far to do it. We're elated to be back doing spring sports on BCTV.
Yeah, Jeff, it has been a lot of fun. We had a great winter with the basketball games that we did. We actually did 21 basketball games. We've got a nice spring schedule. We're going to be back here in Dow Diamond in a couple days. And as soon as the spring sports is over with, we're going to sit down as a BCTV team and start getting ready for fall sports, a little volleyball, a little football, a lot of exciting things going on with the BCTV, and a great crowd here. Here's our friend Jamie. See Jamie every Wednesday night at the county course.
Well, and that looks like Lori Rogers sitting right in front of them. So, I mean, they're really pulling out some of the big shooters from the community to come to these events.
Just a lot of fun for the fans to be here tonight, Jeff, and to get to sit in good seats and get close to the action and enjoy their teams at Dow Diamond.
Indeed. You know, it's a big thrill for fans, for parents, for the officials, everybody that comes in. And again, how often do you get to go to a ball game, Mike, where you get to sit down in a quality back seat with
cup holders?
Well, This is the part that people are missing out on. Cement underneath,
Oh,
so
right,
you don't get
right.
the old
The
vin
wind does.
whistling up underneath you.
I hate it when the vin whistles up underneath you.
When you get a little whistling
it's
wind
true.
underneath you, I'll
It's
tell
true.
you what, that can change everything.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And, it's just it's a great evening for all. Kids are having a good time. They're out on the playground, out down the right field line. And, and you've got that seating area on a good hot night, Jeff. The Loons packed this place with over 5,000 people. Just a lot of fun.
Well, and the parents are loving the fact that the kids have a safe place to play and that they're burning up energy so that either on the ride home or as soon as they get there, they're ready for night-night.
Yeah. Stop at maybe at Burger King or McDonald's on the way home, get them a little dinner and off to bed and get ready for the school tomorrow. Hump day tomorrow.
Looks like we've got a defensive change. John Jasmunka tells the home plate umpire, Mr. Bob Adamowski, that we got a change, so he'll take that over to Patrick Woody. They'll make that change. Normally they signal up to us what's going on, so we'll find out if they do that or not.
Well, I don't know if they know that BCTV is here, Jeff. We'll remember to bring the banners on Thursday, and we'll probably display those over the railing here at Dow Diamond. But, again, a great venue for us. We have to say we've been in a lot of press boxes. We've been to CMU. We've been up to Northern Michigan. This is probably the best one we've ever been in.
Well, and I'll tell you what, it's nice to be able to look out these windows and know that we're inside as Jeff Hildebrandt is doing a little dance out there. And Natalie Doan's a little chilly, but they're bringing us all the angles and the sights and sounds of the game. It's another great
nice pitch
by Sella. And that one was at 67 miles an hour. And that was Joe Tanny. No balls and one strike. Tanny looks at the first one, which is 68. This one at 78, painting the corner.
10 miles an hour difference, Jeff, by Logan Sella. What a nice variety of pitches that young man has.
And I'll tell you what, Tanny was elated that ball that hit him was only going 64. And you say only 64. It's still
right.
It still
cold.
Hurts. Yeah.
It's cold out there too, Jeff. And again, he just tried to bring the curveball inside, and it just didn't go anywhere. And Joe Tanny did a nice job, like you're taught, turn, let the ball hit you in the back, and got a little rub on the back from the first base coach, and Joe will be ready to go. Joe's a tough kid. He had another great basketball season for the Bay City All Saints Cougars this winter.
And if I'm an All Saints Cougar, whether I'm in the game or I'm not, as that ball goes out in front and to throw down to first base, will be in time to get the batter, and that's Austin Grekovich.
Nice bunt.
I want to spend time as a hitter watching the tendencies of pitchers in certain counts and pitches that they're used to throwing. And if you find a pattern up there, then certainly that's got to be to your advantage as a hitter when you come up in that situation.
Yeah, they don't see these guys a lot, Jeff, so you got to really pay attention to them when you're sitting on the bench. And Tanny did a nice job. Turned his back, got the free base.
Van Sumeren up to bat right now with a runner in scoring position and one out in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 1 ball and no strike to count. Johnny Van Sumeren trying to get a base hit to tie this game up. There's a hit to center field, and that is diving quick, but a nice play by the center fielder to make that catch, and that is number 4, Charlie Newton. Got a good jump off the bat and ran that ball down.
I like the way that young man plays the game, Jeff. He plays the center field. He covers a lot of territory. He's got a good armor right there. He's kept his head on the baseball, went right into his glove, right into second base. Good job by Charlie.
Boy, and I'll tell you, that's got to be a little disheartening when you pick the right pitch, you stroke that pitch, you hit it right on the button, and the next thing you know, it's right to the center fielder.
They had him played right. He was right there and caught the ball, Jeff.
Ball just outside. Batter is number 18, Grant Gehringer, for the Bay City All Saints Cougars. Bottom of the fourth inning, 3-2, the Garber Dukes over the All Saints Cougars. Very entertaining second half of the twin build. Outside corner pitch. Sella doing a tremendous job. 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, 10-5. Garber Dukes with the first of the Twin Bill with a victory in the early game. And that pitch, Gehringer was expecting off speed. You could tell by that swing. And that ball was by him before he could get the full swing going. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now it's the guessing game going on. Are we at the zoo?
It sounds like a bunch of geese flying over, doesn't it?
Yeah, duck, duck, goose or something going on down there.
So it's all about having fun.
Oh, that says it all.
Yeah, it's the month of May. Prom season's upon us, Jeff. And we're not that far from the end of the school year.
2 balls and 2 strikes. That ball outside again. And nice job by the catcher. He just kind of looks out to Sella and goes, you overthrew that ball. Just relax and hit it with a 3-2 count. We got a big play here with 2 down because the runner from second's on the move at the onset of the pitch. And that ball to short. Nice job of gathering it. I'll tell you, taking the extra step was Jacek. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. We've played 4 innings. It's 3-2. Garber over All Saints. Back in a minute right here on BC TV.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency of Bay County is a proud sponsor of Bay County TV sports and your #1 option for all of your insurance needs. From home and auto to recreational vehicles, we can cover it all. Stop by our office location at 706 South Euclid Avenue or call us at 989-686-5850 to save hundreds on your insurance needs.
Back here on BC TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you, Jeff Hildebrand and Natalie Doan on our cold cameras tonight. Produced and directed by Nick Page as we go from watching the kids play hot potato to looking at the reason why this stadium exists. Dow Chemical just down the road had a little extra piece of property here that they thought might turn into a nice ball field. If you want to go back history-wise, about 13 years ago, this stadium could have very well ended up being downtown beautiful Bay City. That's a whole nother chapter, and we're not getting into all the ramifications that went with that. Needless to say, no matter where the ballpark ended, it's a gorgeous park.
Well, it really is, Jeff, and they've done a nice job. It's very centrally located. It's just within the downtown district. Downtown Midland, walking distance from the H Hotel, all the restaurants and the eateries down here, Jeff. Dow Diamond has done a nice job. And really it has an effect not only on the Midland community, but around the Tri-City area and the Great Lakes Bay region. This ballpark has had an effect on the economies of Midland, Bay City, Saginaw, and even farther out to the west of Midland County.
Well, and when you look at the way downtown has developed around this stadium, it has really become a point of destination. First pitch is fouled off. It's the top of the 5th inning, 3-2. The Garber Dukes on top. As that pitch is a little bit low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Number 8, Jeff, a new pitcher for the Cougars.
Van Sumeren.
Yep.
So we knew it wasn't Dittmer. Obviously, you got Van Sumeren throwing from the right side. And there's a ball that just has eyes. And the batter, Ben Van Sumeren. I wonder if Ben and John are related.
Yeah, I think they might be.
You know,
you never know.
You are going to have Ben going, oh, I hit a rocket. and you are going to have John go, that's C&I. That was a C&I single.
C&I single.
9 times out of 10, third baseman will toss you out at first base.
When they're at the family reunion, they're going to say, one family's going to say C&I. One family's going to, that was a blast.
Well, in about 50 years, it'll be a shot up the cap.
But when you're talking like that, you got to put your choppers in.
Oh, yes.
Don't forget to do that.
That's a thing of beauty. As the Knightso goes out right now to talk to the pitcher, we got a slight delay in the activities. I don't know exactly what's going on. The home plate umpire is looking to the All Saints bench. I don't believe that there was any substitutions or anything made.
Up next for the Garber Dukes, number 21, Jared Harrell. Man on first, nobody out, Jeff. We're in the top of the 5th here at beautiful Dow Diamond. All Saints Cougars down 3-2 to to the Essexville Garber Dukes.
Guessing small ball right now.
Oh, there you go.
And there I go guessing wrong, because the first pitch to number 21, Jared Harrell, shows no sign of bunting. In fact, the third baseman sitting way back for All Saints, not thinking bunt either. If he lays that down the third baseline, he walks to first base. And Sumerin tried the throw to first base just to let the runner over there know, I know, 'cause you're close.
Because you're too far away.
Yes, indeed. See if he's going to try and steal. He is going down. The pitch is swung on and missed. And the runner is safe at second base. Got a huge jump. He went on first motion of the pitcher and got down to second base. Wasn't a lot Brady Neitzel could have done about that.
Yeah, he had a great jump, Jeff. Did Van Sumerin from first to second. Good steal right there. Strike missed the ball was number 21, Harrell. But again, the hit and run was on, and a nice job by Harrell trying to get a piece of that ball. Whoa.
Just off the corner, the Jared Harrell, 2 balls and 1 strike. And again, kind of surprised that they're not at least with one attempt to bring them to the runner to third base. But the 2 ball and 1 strike count. Maybe he'll just be trying to hit the ball to the right side. 3-1 as Van Sumerin is trying to get a little fancy with his pitches right now and just trying to pick a corner. He's got to make something happen here on 3-1. This is a good hitter's count.
Great hitter's count right there.
Out of the stretch.
Good pitch.
Great.
Hold the string.
Yep. 76 miles an hour, and again, just a little out of the strike zone, but exactly what Jared Harrell thought. That ball's coming down the middle. I know he's going to throw a strike. And
a lot of confidence at 3-1 right there, Jeff.
And that pitch just outside. We're going to put 2 men on, so we're going to keep an eye on the umpire in the middle of the field. Oh, before we could even get a picture of him, he just touches the right hand to the left chest. That signifies that the infield fly rule is now in effect. That would be with runners on first and second, or first, second, and third with less than 2 outs. A pop-up on the infield deemed a routine attempt to catch will be an automatic out for the hitter.
Back in the day, they used to let that go. Long time ago.
Yep.
That's how they used to play back in the old days.
That used to be. That's why they called it the infield fly rule, because they used to drop it on purpose in turn 2.
Yeah.
You were caught in no man's land as a runner. That ball just inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Van Sumerin maybe trying to aim it a little bit. At 79 miles an hour, certainly had the heat. 3-2. Garber on top over All Saints. Here in the top of the 5th, that's Dow Diamond on BC TV. Out of the stretch again. Here is a
good scoop.
Good scoop by Brady Neitzel. That would have scored another run. And more importantly, if you're an All Saints Cougar, would have taken away your opportunity for the force or double play.
Yeah. Good job by Brady on that pitch.
Out of the stretch, just misses again on the outside part of the plate. Just a little bit low. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count. As Van Sumerin has got to find that strike zone in a hurry. On the outside corner again.
And Jeff, behind the plate umpire has been consistent. That's what you want to have. He's calling a consistent game, and the pitchers now know where they got to put it.
And that ball at the plate is just nubbed off the end of the bat, keeping him alive. Scoreboard says 2 balls and 2 strikes. Very dangerous hitter up right now, Brennan Irish. Looking at the 2-2 pitch, and it's through the infield for a base hit. And they are going to have him held up.
Yeah, good holding up the runner, Jeff, by Coach Esmonka. You don't have any outs. You're up 5-2. You just got another run in. You still got the bases loaded. Lots of people coming up. Good hitter number 23 coming up for the Essexville Garber Dukes. Wakeman Edelbrock, who had another good game in the first game. So good job, good job of coaching by Coach Jasmunka down there at third base.
Well, and as a third base coach, too, your job is to get as far down into the end of your box as you can. And we'll hold that thought as the first pitch is a strike. And he looks where his runner is. He had not touched third base yet, and the outfielder is picking up the ball. Your odds are not good.
And the outfielder's playing in, too.
So you take the sure thing. You keep rolling around the bases. There is another ground ball. And they're going to get the out at first base. Had time, I think, to get the force out at home plate. But they'll take it out, and that's the first out of the inning. It's been a long top of the inning defensively for the All Saints Cougars.
Puts base runners on second and third. Nope.
I have no idea what just happened. Did they call batter's interference? Or?
I don't know. Well, Edelbrock is definitely out, Jeff. The run will score. And then the runners will advance to second and third.
And I believe that is the way it is because the out was made at first base.
Correct.
On either if the tag was made or if not, he got out of the baseline. So either way, I believe that's what's going on. And I think Coach Woody's just trying to get an explanation for what just transpired.
Yeah, whatever it was, he was happy with the explanation, Jeff. So that makes the score 6-2. Edelbrock was out. He got tagged out. Runners advance, and the run scores. So the first base is empty.
6-2 as the Garber Dukes have put 3 on the board. Still threatening with runners at second and third. There's another ground ball. And what a strong
nice job by Tanny.
arm. Tanny just throws a rocket, but putting the ball in play gives the Garber Dukes yet another run. And, you know, you look back to the end of last week prior to this series, taking a doubleheader, the Garber Dukes away from the John Glenn Bobcats. That is a pretty strong statement because Jeff Hart's ball club is always strong over at John Glenn.
Yeah, that's a big sweep by the Essexville Garber Dukes. But again, 7-2 Essexville, Jeff. Very similar to what happened in the first game. Essexville Garber Dukes had a big inning in that first game. They got a big inning here in the second game.
Yeah, they've got 4 so far in this inning. See if they can duplicate that big inning. They had a 7 spot in the first game in 1 inning. The bases are empty finally with 2 outs. See if they can get through it. And there is a shot down the line.
Ball.
It's just foul as that ball hooked. And that ball was tagged very, very mightily. And it'll just be all for naught and a foul ball back to the plate for Parker Yachek.
It's got a little bit out in front of it, Jeff, but it was smoked down the left field line. One foul ball, 5 or 10 feet out there by the bullpen. He'll live to another day.
Temporarily starting to dip here at Dow Diamond, too. We're into the 53-degree range right now. And they did have a runner on third base. I was kind of missed the fact that he was there off the wild pitch. Another run scores, and it is 5 runs thus far here in the top of the 5th inning. As the Garber Duke offense has come to life. They've had 2 big innings in this doubleheader, and it propelled them to a big first win and has put them out in front by 6 here in the second one. Tanny picks it up. Look at the strong arm throw across the body, and that'll do it for the top of the 5th inning. But a 5 spot on the board, and the Essexville Garber Dukes on top 8-2 we'll go with the All Saints Cougars. We're talking John Glenn just a minute ago, and we shuffle back to the game here at hand. Again, as a reminder, we'll be back in 2 days as the Pinconning area Spartans, led by Jeff Sanick, will tackle the Coach Coyne-led Standish Sterling Central Panthers, as we should have a lot of fun. And again, being able to do back-to-back games from this great venue, what a wonderful way to get the spring rolling.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun so far, Jeff. Looking to Thursday with the Panthers and the Spartans. got some softball coming up. We've got some soccer coming up. We've got some more baseball coming up. So we've got a good spring schedule. We're also thinking fall sports already here at BCTV. We're going to put a nice schedule together. We're working on getting the team schedules all ready for football. We're going to look at a lot of fall sports. And, winter's going to be wild and woolly, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And, also a lot of things going on with Nick and the crew doing some things. Last week Nick was at the State Theater doing a concert. They did some things over at Battery Park. So a lot of neat things going on here at BCTV, not just high school athletics.
Yeah, the station is really picking up some great momentum and steam. And, when you've got great support from the top, from Jim Barsha on down and from Deb and the gang over there, it really makes it easy and fun to do it, knowing that the support is there.
Yeah, we want to thank Jim Barsha, the county executive, Deb Russell, Administrative Services Director, for their support and helping us, the Board of Commissioners. Tom Herrick, President of the Bay County Board of Commissioners, we want to thank him for all their support through this venture. And, like you said early in the game, Jeff, we cut our teeth back when this was Bay 3 TV. Now it's BCTV, and we are just having a lot of fun, and we got a great behind-the-scenes crew.
Well, and I'll tell you the thing is, the advancements that we've been able to make in equipment too, the picture quality is better. Expert producing and directing going on a nightly basis. We take it for granted because of all the beauty that we see. Nick Page does a great job. Jeff Hildebrandt and Natalie Doan manning the cameras on this chilly night. I'm Jeff Doan along with Mike Wisdala. We've got the easy job, just sitting here having a great time while they do all the hard work.
They do a great job, Jeff, and again, there's a lot of things coming. The summertime's coming up for BCTV. I know Nick has a lot of plans, a lot on his plate, so stay tuned. This is just the beginning of a great summer season here on BCTV.
And you're going to have a special coming up in the middle part of June, as we'll have powerboat races coming to Bay City. We're going to do a special on BCTV leading up to that race as well. And that should be a lot of fun. I don't know who announces those river road races, but I think we might be able to get a few interviews and a little bit of in.
I know them.
First pitch of the bottom half of the fifth inning is a ball. Very important here in this half inning that the All Saints Cougars have some type of an answer to at least put a dent in that 5 spot they gave up. If they can't get 1 or 2 this inning, it's going to be really tough when they're being down 6 with limited at-bats left.
Yeah, up Jeff is number 12. I don't have the number for that young man. I'm sure if you'd have that number at all, but we will get that for the All Saints Cougars.
We'll ask Natalie.
Then Natalie will know who it is. 12, number 12.
As it's 1 ball and 1 strike is the count up on the board. And to wait to get some confirmation on who that young man is. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. High, hard heat. Just threw that 79-mile-an-hour fastball right by the All Saints Cougar batter.
Yeah, number 34, Van Sumeren for the Essexville Garber Dukes doing the pitching now. Boy, nice job fighting that one off.
Boy, Van Sumeren came from the side on that pitch, and it was just
81.
Fun. But did you see the arm angle at which that thing came from? The batter from the All Saints Cougars was swinging as that front foot was on the old bale. Let's see if he does come from that odd angle again at the side. The wind up in the pitch. And he does come a little cross body again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's exactly where you want that next pitch after you come from the side a little bit. Because if that front leg goes bail at all to the back of the box, you're not going to pick up that ball going to the outside of the plate. You can't get your bat to it. Just a little bit low, and the count is full. Talk about another great patient at bat to start off the inning.
Yeah, great eye right there. Man, Van Sumeren can bring it.
He's consistently in the 78 to 80 range. Ooh,
good pitch.
Went for ball 4. A little over anxious at the plate. And Trevor Sutton will be the batter now with one out in the bottom of the fifth. 8-2 our score. Garber with a big 5-inning top of the fifth has kind of stretched the lead out in this ball game. Wind picking back up again, coming out of the northeast. Sutton with the swing and a miss on that high and outside 80-mile-an-hour fastball. As it's one strike. Again in the bottom of the fifth inning. All Saints Cougars have got to get some runs. Strike two on the high and tight pitch again. That thing is letter high on the inside corner, and it is tough to pick that thing up and get a good, healthy whack at it. I would say going up high and hard with an 0-2 count is what Van Sumeren's going to do. He goes right down the middle with a fastball and caught Sutton looking. As the strikeout, number 2 of this inning, will bring up number 5, Anthony Nemec. 2 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
Yeah, Van Sumeren can bring it, Jeff. He's throwing it a little bit, got the curveball, got the fastball, doing a nice job.
Well, I'm telling you what, he is just out there having fun right now because all his pitches are working.
Well, you know what, and as a pitcher with an 8-2 lead, Jeff, you can go out there, relax a little bit, just go with the flow, make a nice, easy motion, bring it, and that's what Van Sumeren's doing right now. I like the way this young man's throwing the baseball.
Boy, and that was a stinger off of the hands, and it gets through. Anthony Nemec gets an opportunity as the error defensively by the Garber Dukes, and that is number 10. And I don't have my 10 on here, so they got another number change for us.
I think that's Lucas Sella, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get that right. We'll ask Natalie again.
We got a timeout again?
Yep. Yep. Pitcher Van Sumeren says, I just want to talk a little bit. What are you seeing? What's happening? What can we do? We got an 8-2 lead. Let's just play this thing right. We got 2 outs. And, just a good conversation.
Yeah, and it's always nice to just slow things down and make sure now that you've got somebody on base, you don't make a mistake and allow All Saints an opportunity to try and creep back in this one. Inside on a 78-mile offering to the All Saints Cougars, Grant Dittmer. Dittmer, one of their better hitters on this club, is looking to put a shot into something and get it up the gap and see if he can get extra bases. Ball outside. Another 78-mile-an-hour fastball. Perfect hitter's count here at 2-0. I think Coach Woody is going to turn him loose on this pitch if it's in the spot he wants to swing at it. Out of the stretch. It's high and outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Almost for the next pitch, you take the bat out of the hitter's hand because you need base runners.
Yep. Taking all the way on this one, Jeff.
Well, and look who's in the on-deck circle.
Yep.
Your best hitter.
Take another one.
Yep. Coach, I'm going to tell you what, you and I, for being this first game ever on BCTV, we're right on the same El Pajo.
It's been a while since I played the game, but I watch a lot.
And it's been nice to being able to, over time, officiate the game and know the signals and situations of ball. Now, if I'm Coach Jasmunka, I'm going to go out right now and talk to Van Sumeren because you cannot afford to make a mistake because Brady's got a base hit and a line drive out and a fly out.
Hard hit balls.
All hard hit balls.
Yep.
And that first pitch is on the inside corner at the knees. What a great throw from Van Sumeren. Not much Brady can do. You know he likes to extend those arms and get them out and make things happen. Neitzel hits this one to second base. Not a super fleet of foot runners, so second baseman just stays in front of it, knocks it down, calmly picks it up, throws Neitzel out by a step and a half.
Good job by second baseman, Jeff. Keep the ball in front of you, pick it up, take your time, throw the runner out. Great job by Sella.
At the end of 5, 8-2, Garber over All Saints. Back in a minute here on BC TV.
How's married life? Are you ready to have a baby? Baby, baby. How about that baby? Ooh. I'm not getting any younger.
When you are ready. With the only neonatal intensive care unit in the Great Lakes Bay region, Covenant is the safest place for your delivery. Go to mycovenantbaby.com.
As the lights are on, Jeff Dodd and Mike Wisdala along with you on BC TV from the Dow Diamond. Second half of the doubleheader, the Garber Dukes and the All Saints Cougars. Garber winners of the first game, Mike, 10-5 with a lead in the second.
Yeah, Jeff, they did a great job on the first game, and they had a big inning in the third inning, if I'm not mistaken. They got 7 runs in that third inning and won that game 10-5. They had a big inning there at the top of the 5th. They got 5. They're up 8-2. We're in the top of the 6th inning, and with the Garber Dukes coming to bat.
Well, and we call those innings very opportunistic innings, one in each game, to propel them out to big leads in both games.
Jeff, would be remiss in our duties if we didn't thank a couple sponsors tonight. We had great sponsorship all winter long, and they're jumping back on board tonight. Covenant Healthcare, AAA Transport, Renew Physical Therapy, Plum Harris Insurance, the Times Lofts. I'm not thinking, am I forgetting anybody? Just can't say enough.
How about the booster clubs?
And the booster clubs, absolutely. All the booster clubs helped out. Can't thank everybody enough for helping us out on here on BC TV with high school sports here in Bay County.
There's a great look of the scoreboard at Dow Diamond. Here's the windup of the pitch. First pitch to Logan Sella, swing and a miss. Here to start the 6th inning, 8-2 once again. The Essexville Garber Dukes on top over the All Saints Cougars. Second half of the double dip. Here from Dow Diamond. Swinging a little foul tip. Goes back and dribbles on its way over towards the Garber Duke bench.
I think that went off the face mask of Brady Neitzel. And he's having a little conversation with Bob Adamowski. Bob asking him if he's okay. Yep, 2 and 2 is 4. We're good.
Yep. Yeah. He says, I only see one of you, Bob, so that's good. We're ready to roll here. You know, those catchers do take a beating over the course of the year, too. That ball is to the outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Neitzel is walking out right now, and he's going to have a little chat with the pitcher because I think he might have got crossed up a little bit on that last ball.
Could have been. They're not on the same page, Jeff. So Brady, being the veteran player, veteran catcher that he is, go out and talk to Van Sumeren. Says, hey, we got a good pitcher up here. Let's get on out here. We got a good hitter. Let's get on the same page.
Wind up in the pitch. Foul ball right back off the screen. I wonder what they did back in the day, Mike, before somebody was smart enough to put a screen up.
You ducked a lot.
There was not a lot of safe places to watch the game back in the day. You might have got a lot of souvenirs, but you might have gone home with a couple of less teeth or a big knot on the forehead.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you brought a helmet and a glove to the ball game.
That's true. Pitch is just inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
At the bat for the Essexville Garber Dukes, number 5, Logan Sella. He was our starting pitcher tonight, Jeff. Did a nice job. Had a good 5 innings of pitching for Essexville Garber.
And he tattoos the ball to center field. Look at the way that the wind held that ball up. It really sounded like he got after it. But just a routine defensive play. Joe Tanny sitting out there saying that was just nothing to that.
Dittmer. That's
Dittmer.
Grant Dittmer's out there in center field, Jeff. And, you know, he did the right thing, took a couple steps back. And those guys know that wind's blowing. It's easier to come in than it is to go back.
1 up and 1 down here in the 6th inning. Wind up of the pitch. Foul ball. Back off of the screen. And, they're getting a couple of balls here as, again, they're a little bit sparse here. Look at them. They're coming from all directions now. Bob, fill up the basket.
Monka had one. Woody had one. We've got one.
Hopefully none of them are an orange. There's a beautiful hit right up the gap from number 34 of the Garber Dukes, Benjamin Van Sumeren.
Nice job by Van Sumeren going with the pitch, Jeff. Just got it on the outside of the corner. Head down, went with the pitch, took it into right field, got himself a nice bloop single. Good quality hitting right there by Van Sumeren. Jared
Harrell now the batter for the Garber Dukes. With the runner on first base and one out here in the top of the 6th inning. 8-2 our score. Garber on top. Pitch just a little bit outside. As the All Saints Cougars, John Van Sumeren now pitching out of the stretch with a runner on first. Taking his time, steps back off the rubber, fakes that throw to first. I didn't hear it out there from anybody. Bach! Pitch just a little bit on the inside. Van Sumeren just misses a little bit. Exasperated with himself because that was he thought a good pitch. No, it was on the inside part of the plate. It was off the plate just a little bit, but he threw it where he wanted. He just couldn't get the call. Taking his time again. And there is another ball that Dittmer is going to track down again. Another well-hit ball. Sounded strong off the bat, but just got up there into that northeast breeze, knocked it right down.
Well, Jeff, and he does it right. He jumped. As soon as that ball was hit, he had good footwork. He was going backwards, and he knew he had a runner on first base, so he had plenty of opportunity to catch the ball, throw the ball back into the field, and Grant does a nice job out there playing center field.
Well, he surrounded the ball so that when he caught it, his momentum was coming in
forward,
so that he would make sure that runner had no opportunity to advance.
Yep, absolutely right. And, Van Sumeren went halfway down between first and second and got back to first base. But Grant's got a nice arm out there in center field. It's not somebody you want to test.
He is not going to be challenged often out there. There's a wild pitch and a chance thinking about going to third as Neitzel had a hard time finding that ball for a minute. That ball's got a nice little kiss on it too because that hit back here on the metal part of the stanchion at the bottom of the stands.
Well, Coach Monka had him going on the steal, Jeff, and Van Sumeren, he saw it all the way going to the backstop. He stood up, got around second base, was just kind of hanging out there to see what might happen. So he's back over on second base.
And I'll tell you what you get a lot of times, too, as a pitcher. Once that guy starts off for second base, you either see it out of the corner of your eye or you hear somebody yell he's going. It throws your concentration off, and that pitch sailed, just like I think what happened to him on that last offering. There's a one-hopper to the second baseman. Nice toss to first base. And the All Saints Cougars get out of that inning. Grant Gehringer nearly missed the bag. He took a 1-2-3. It looked like a little do-say-do down there.
It's there.
And it's 8-2. We are going to the bottom of the 6th inning here. It's a nice job by Coach Woody. Pat Woody gets his group together and he goes, hey, we got 6 outs and we need to score 6 runs. I think the odds are a 1-to-1 ratio. Let's have some good at-bats and make things happen. So there's Natalie Doan as she is doing a great job. She doesn't even look chilly out there. That is amazing. As she says, I do better behind the camera. What a beauty.
Oh, boy.
That is something. She started off doing statistics and some of the graphic work. And, we hope Harold Beauchamp has a quick recovery, but he's not able to do it. Natalie says, hey, I'll be glad to step into this apprenticeship and make things happen. And She's a little camera shy, but she does a nice job from behind it, showing us what's what.
What's shocking is there's a Doan that's camera shy.
I know it. It's got to be
shocking
temporary.
Part of this.
There's a nice look at Dow Chemical too. Without their generosity, this stadium would not be here, and we would not have these unbelievable seats sitting on the second level right behind home plate. You know, Mike, you're sitting in the seat that Tommy Lasorda has been in many times when he's visited here.
Yep.
Well, you know, I'm sitting where the Prez is, Paul Barbouz. So.
Yeah, we're very comfortable up here, Jeff. We're up on the third level. Right behind us is 100.9 WLUN, the sister station here for Saginaw Valley League Sports and for the Loons and the Dodger emblem. And we're really been treated very, very well here.
We're rubbing elbows with some of the bigs.
We're very fortunate. We're very fortunate.
As we get to the bottom of the sixth inning right now, again, it's time for instant offense. If the All Saints Cougars have an opportunity to get back into this game, and they'll lead off the inning with Joe Tanney stepping into the box.
We get a break next between innings, Jeff. We'll talk a little bit about the upcoming Loon schedule that I have right here in front of me. They're on the road for a little bit, but they'll be back in town next week, and we'll chat about that.
1 ball, no strikes the count. A little bit low on the second offering, 2 balls and no strikes. And that's the beauty of high school versus pro ball. That ball touches the dirt.
Yeah,
they're flicking it out of play. And now it's got scuffs from the stands. It's got dirt marks on it.
Pizza sauce.
Hey, let's play. It's got a little
popcorn grease.
Yep, a little bit of
nacho cheese.
Pretzel sauce on it. So, you know, it all makes movement on the ball. But it's 2 balls and a strike right now with nobody out in the bottom of the sixth. Just outside, 3-1. Another great patient start to this inning for the All Saints Cougars. They
hitters.
Desperately need base runners.
They got good players on both these squads, Jeff. Good hitters, smart baseball players.
And a good, healthy cut that time by Tanney. Couldn't catch up with that 78-mile-an-hour fastball.
Van Sumeren doing a nice job taking over for Sella as a relief pitcher for the Garber Dukes. 3-2 to Tanney.
Gets a piece of that fastball. Again, another 78-mile-an-hour fastball. He was right on it. Just hit it a little bit high on the bat and skimmed it off of the backstop.
Looking forward to on Thursday getting our first look at the Pinconning area Spartans baseball team, Jeff. See what kind of players they have. Always got good kids up in Pinconning also.
Low and inside as ball 4.
Good eye.
Their first batter of the inning reaches base, and that is huge for All Saints. Yeah, Jeff Sanick's got a great program up there. And I'll tell you, they had the opening of the new stadium up there with all the stadium seats, and they had one very generous donor. I don't know if he wants to be known or not, so I'll leave it anonymous, but he's got 2 kids that both played basketball there, and I would never mention that his name is Labine. But, you know, that's what's great. You know, there's a fair amount of people around that have financial opportunities to be able to give back and to share. I have to tip my hat to people like that. As another high pitch, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And we know we'll talk a little bit more about that on Thursday when we have the opportunity. But, you know, it's all about the kids.
Can't
and
do
when
it
you
without
can play
them.
in a facility where, again, you're going to sit in a stadium where you've got backs and arms rest on the chairs, it's just a great thing.
Yeah, and then, you know, everybody up there, they got that new gymnasium up in Pinconning. But we'll talk about that coming up on Thursday.
As it looked like Tanney took an extra lead, but I would be shocked if he took off. You can't afford to get picked off second base if you're stealing and you don't make it.
Up now for the Cougars, Jeff, number 4, Austin Grekovich for base of the All Saints. 2 balls, 1 strike on Austin.
That ball a little high and tight, 3-1. Looks like Van Sumeren's getting just a little bit too fancy right now as he's aiming the ball. And you don't want to start the inning off with 2 runners on base, bringing up somebody like Johnny Van Sumeren to bat. And there's a swing and a miss. Might have helped out the pitcher on that swing a little bit.
Could have been
right
a little
on the
outside.
It was close.
It was close.
Counts full right now. What will Van Sumeren bring to the plate? Right down the middle. He was looking for something other than that. Maybe he was looking off speed pitch. He guessed wrong. Van Sumeren rings him up.
Up for the Cougars, number 8, John Van Sumeren. Looking down to Coach Woody. Coach Woody says, got to hit away, son. We got to get some runs here. We got to get them quickly.
Well, and he does hit him, but it's a high fly ball. Again, knocked down by the breeze. And picked off in center field. Turns out to be a very routine fly ball. And that will be the second out of the inning.
Number 4, Charlie Newton, Jeff, of the Essexville Garber Dukes, the center fielder. That young man's had a very nice baseball game tonight. Did a nice job of hitting, been out there in center field, plays very good defense for the Garber Dukes.
Coming up right now, Joe Castilla. He will be hitting, trying to make something happen with a runner on and a runner out. I believe there should be 2 outs on the board, not 1. He had a strikeout and a fly out. There we go. They must have been listening to us. 1 ball and no strike. 2 outs.
Right around the corner.
Ooh, Castillo bangs himself on the head after that swing. He's like, oh, I got to settle down here a little bit. I'm a little over anxious. I want to make a big play, but you got to have something you can hit. Uh-oh, they're not doing a Phil Necro out there.
Yeah, you got to tuck it in. Mr. Anderson says you got to tuck in the old shirt strap there, Jeff, and so we're going to take a little break, and Van Sumeren's going to tuck in the jersey.
I didn't know maybe if he was going behind the neck for a little of that Vitalis or something to get a little extra movement on the ball.
I don't think that would ever happen. Come on, my friend.
1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs and a runner on first for All Saints, bottom of the 6th. Van Sumeren throws a gem right down the heart of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stia up to bat again. Waiting on the offering, and that ball is fouled off. Nice rip that time by Castilla.
That went into the back parking lot, Jeff, of Dow Diamond. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out.
Nick says that better not be where the Dream Machine is parked.
He's got a new vehicle, too.
There's another foul ball. That one smucks forward again. Joe Castilla hanging tough here with a couple of good swings. And there it is. If you were at Coryell Field, you'd get a free bag of popcorn. But no dice here. And another one. Steele goes outside of the strike zone for that ball.
Farmer Pete's right there. Remember Farmer Pete's in
right
left
next
field.
door. Denny McLean and Farmer Pete's. Well, some of it good and some of it bad for Farmer Pete's.
Yeah.
Here's the windup of the pitch. Castillo is a little bit fooled on that pitch, and that front leg came out, and that'll do it for the 6th inning. It is 8-2. Garber over All Saints. We'll be back in a minute with the 7th inning right here on BCTV.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency of Bay County is a proud sponsor of Bay County TV sports and your #1 option for all of your insurance needs. From home and auto to recreational vehicles, we can cover it all. Stop by our office location at 706 South Euclid Avenue or call us at 989-686-5850 to save hundreds on your insurance needs.
Back here on BCTV, Jeff Toad and Mike Guasdala along with you. Looking at one of the 2 finest out there on the field right now as those gentlemen have had a lot of fun today.
Yeah, Bob and Paul have done a nice job, Jeff, here tonight at Dow Diamond. And talk a little bit about the Loons. They're on the road, Jeff, right now. They're starting out in Kane County, and they're taking on the Kane County Cougars. That's the Diamondbacks affiliate. Then they're headed to Clinton to take on the Lumber Kings. That's the Mariners organization. Then they're coming back home for 3 next week on the 15th, 16th, and 17th, and they will be taking on the Lake County Captains. and that's the Indians Class A farm affiliate over there in Ohio. So get an opportunity, come on over to Dow Diamond and just have a great time. Friendly family atmosphere here at Dow Diamond.
Well, and Brett Adcock is pitching single A ball. He's a Bay City great, as he's from Bay City Western, as well as that fly ball to left field, tracked down and caught via the University of Michigan. Brett Adcock, 4th round draft pick of the Houston Astros.
Wow, number 8 for the Bay City All Saints Cougars. That's John Van Sumeren out there, if I'm not mistaken, Jeff.
He made it look routine.
Oh, that was an easy catch. But again, the wind, if you look at Oak Glory right now, that wind is blowing extremely hard. Probably the hardest we've seen it blow all night tonight right now, Jeff. Nice job by Van Sumeren. Hung with it.
How about the catcher now, the pitcher right now? The bottom end of the battery is turned into the top end of the battery as Brady Neitzel is out on the mound throwing strikes. Just going to come with a little bit of heat. And look at that. He even offers, just as soon as I say comes with the heat, tries a little off-speed pitch, and he goes, well, maybe I'll go back to the heat.
At bat right now for the Essexville Garber Dukes, number 17, Brennan Irish.
And I'm going to tell you what, when you've got a new pitcher on the mound, you're not always apt, as one of the younger fans enjoying the trip up the stands. As he says, I think he
had a baseball in his hand.
That's another ball low, 3-1.
It's been a great night tonight, Jeff, here at Dow Diamond.
We have had a ton of fun. This ball game's gone about 2 hours right now, though, as Neitzel throws that ball right down the middle and is just a little bit low. Look at taking another lap. He's at the 3rd step, the 4th step, the 5th step, on its way up to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Mom and Dad are cheering him on. He's slowing down a little bit, makes it to the top. He's going to sleep well tonight.
That's what it's all about right there, my friend.
The youngest to the oldest, enjoying the game of baseball, America's favorite pastime.
Once we get to the top, we're staying there.
Yes, indeed. And when we're going to the top that quick, there's usually only one reason we're running that fast, and we won't talk about that. There's a high, lazy fly ball to right field. Look at the wind take it, having it come in, and making the out is the right fielder. And that is number 12 of the All Saints Cougars with that catch. Did not get his name, unfortunately, tonight. Thought we had all the names and numbers. We're apologizing for that, but we tried to show a close-up of the young man so that we can give him his due.
Yep. At bat for Garber now, number 4, Charlie Newton, the center fielder, Jeff. Had a great ball game tonight in both ball
Well,
games.
I'll tell you, defensively,
he's
he
tough.
just really patrols center field with style and grace.
Yeah.
1 ball and no strike, Brady Neitzel. Outside corner.
You look at this Essexville Garber team, Jeff. They've got 4 seniors on this squad, and they got 1 sophomore. The rest are juniors. So this is going to be a very, very good baseball team, as it is now. But next year, with a little more experience under their belt, they're going to be very, very good.
And, you have no idea what the JV team is bringing up either. So, you could have another influx of talent coming, another 4 or 5 great players that are down just getting their reps. As that ball goes off of the glove of the third baseman. Trying to get a peek, and that looks like that is Austin Grekovich. As he jumped for that ball, maybe jumped just a split second too soon for it, and that went off of the top of the webbing. Another lap here for the young man, as he is just a machine going up and down. Brady Neitzel with a 69-mile-an-hour fastball.
At the bat for the Essexville Garber Dukes, number 14, Parker Yachek. Parker's played pretty well tonight, too, also, Jeff. He was their starting shortstop. Done a nice job swinging the bat and playing in the infield.
Yeah, he is just a vacuum at third, and he's got a gun for an arm. There's a shot up the gap into right field. Nice job by the right fielder, number 12. Again, don't have a name for him, but he made a nice running catch, and that'll do it for the Garber Dukes in the top of the 7th. It's 8-2. Garber over All Saints. The Cougars, Mike, have just got 3 swings left. And if they don't come up with a 6-pack of runs, this one will be in the books.
Yeah, it's been a good baseball game for both teams tonight, Jeff, but the story of each game was one big inning for the Essexville Garber Dukes has been the difference. They got 7 in the 3rd inning in the first game to win that game 10-5. They got 5 in the top of the 5th inning here in game number 2. They lead it going into the bottom of the 7th, 8-2, but well-played baseball games by both squads.
Looks like we've got a new pitcher in for the Garber Dukes. They're going with a southpaw.
Is that Charlie?
That looks like the center fielder, Charlie Newton.
Wow.
He's going to test his theory of relativity out there on the mound.
I was wondering when one of those was coming, my friend.
And you know what? If you're the coach of the Garber Dukes and you're John Chesmonka, I'm going to tell you what. He's just going to tell this young man, I don't want anything fancy. I want you to just come out, and I want you to hit the catcher's mitt. I want you to throw strike after strike after strike. As the
nice camera work.
Nice skyline of Midland off of the backdrop from this wonderful setting tonight and this high school baseball game from Dow Diamond.
That last picture is that what we were looking at, and there it is right there, the worldwide partner, Dow Diamond, and really a big supporter of the Olympic team over the last few Olympics, Jeff, is our friends here from Dow Chemical.
And again, just another broad panoramic view of this stadium, and if you've never been here, it is a breathtaking stadium.
It really is.
It's something that they still continue to rave after 10 years about the way that this was built and designed.
Great dugouts, great facility. Jeff, he's mentioned earlier they're going to be talking about a new scoreboard next year at the end of this season. They're going to be looking at that. And it's just it's a great place to watch a game, and we are so privileged to be able to be up here in the booth doing this game for all you folks here on BCTV.
Newton with the first pitch at 74 miles an hour right down the pipes. Up to bat is number 11, Ryan Grekovich. No balls and 1 strike. Newton brings that one in across the plate, but low. 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
Well, you look at this All Saints team, Jeff. We talk about the juniors on Garber. This is pretty much a senior-laden team here for the Bay City All Saints Cougars.
Grekovich with a swing and a miss on a 70-mile offering. So Newton's been high 60s, low 70s on the 3 pitches thus far that he has brought to the plate. Look at that curve ball. And that is a swing and a miss, and the first out of the bottom of the 7th inning.
Up now for the Bay City All Saints Cougars, number 16, Evan Lay. Another member of that boys basketball district championship team was Evan. He had a good winter.
Again, great to see. When you're in a school that size, you've got to be a multi-sport athlete because you need all the kids that you can play in those games to have enough people to round out your roster.
Yep, they did a nice job. Won the district, got to their regional semis, Jeff. Lost that first game, but they had a great season overall. Saw Coach Jason Brzezinski in the crowd. Brought his wife and kids over to the ball game tonight. Good to see him out supporting the baseball team.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Just missed to the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. If that ball's there again, I would say Mr. Lay better be whacking. Look at that pitch again. That is just nasty.
Evan Lay did not expect that curveball right there, Jeff. That was a great pitch by Charlie Newton.
Well, until it got 8 feet from the plate, it was 6 inches outside and had no chance. He gave up on it, and what great late movement. And maybe that's why Mr. Newton is in the ball game here. Maybe he's the closer. He is just throwing strikes.
He can bring it. That's 73 miles an hour, and he just he gets up there. He's ready to rock. No time in between pitches.
Easy heat, man. 0-2. And I'll tell you what, he must have heard what we talked to him. We told him, just come out and fire strikes, and he's just been a strike-throwing machine here in the 7th. 2-strike count, and there it is again, striking out the side with the same curveball, and that's all there is.
There isn't any more.
The final score, 8-2, the Essexville Garber Dukes over the All Saints Cougars to take the sweep here from All Saints, winning the first game 10-5 in the nightcap, 8-2. We'll keep it right here and put the wraps on this one, Mike, as we have just been elated to have the opportunity not just to bring high school baseball to the fans on BCTV, but to have an awesome venue like this to be able to bring that game to. So we thank all those responsible for it, and we can't wait to come back here in 2 days to do it again.
Yeah, Jeff, it was an honor and a privilege to start our spring sports and our very first baseball game ever that you and I have ever done together here at Dow Diamond. We were treated well thanks to the athletics directors of both schools, Dave Schwartz and Greg Wagner, for helping us out to get here, the superintendents, Matt Cortez and Brian Campbell, over at Bay City All Saints. It was just an honor to be here. We thoroughly enjoyed it, and we get to come back again and do it again in a couple days. But this was really the epitome of the way we wanted to start this spring season and this baseball season here on BCTV is at Dow Diamond.
And I'm going to tell you what, Coach, sitting next to you, your baseball prowess is right up there. You had your A game going tonight, brother, and that was just a lot of fun. You know, we're on the same page with a lot of what's going on, and, you know, there's a touch of uncertainty not having done it before, but we sat down, and it's like riding a bicycle,
you know. When you've been hanging out with you as long as I have, you know, it's just kind of there. You know what's going to happen. So it was a pleasure, my friend, to be back in the booth with you, and looking forward to a great spring season, and always a pleasure to hear you do play-by-play. It's been an honor.
Well, working with you is like one of your favorite words, easy. So that just about puts the wraps. There's the shovel there.
I'll tell you what.
That is the shovel.
You got to see that. I don't know if we're going to have time to get that shovel on, but that's a great shovel.
So we look up into the night sky as they're already out, going to start to prep the field for tomorrow and for the game on Thursday. But what a pleasure, again, as we have had Jeff Hildebrandt and Natalie Doan doing a superb job in the cold outside tonight, making it happen, and produced and directed by Nick Page once again. We're blessed to have a great family with us. We'll look forward to talking to you in a couple of days again, as it'll be the Pinconning area Spartans and the Standish Sterling Central Panthers right here on BCTV. Have a great night, all.
We'll see you again.